Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Kristi and this is Quincy. He's being a pest right now, so I'm having to hold him so he doesn't attack my cat Mira. So he's going to do the intro with me today. This is going to be a meal prep video. Now I have an entire series of meal prep videos. I think there's a playlist of about 51 at this point. Make sure you go check some of those out if you're looking for ideas. Now I have recipes over here, what I eat in a day, grocery hauls, lots of videos for you to check out. When I meal prep, let me just say this, I'm not meal prepping little containers with a meat and two sides and a dessert. We work from home, so when I meal prep, I am fixing things that we can reheat and eat quickly. So like a couple of sides, crackers, desserts, lots of desserts, who are we kidding? Soups, main courses, things like that. See what I'm saying? This is what he's after. So if you're not already following us, we would love to have you as a member of our YouTube family, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that when I upload, you'll be notified. Follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. Now my Instagram name will be right here at the bottom of the screen. TikTok and the Facebook group will be in that description box, so all you have to do is click on them and they'll take you right on over. Okay, let's just go ahead and get started with today's meal prep because Quincy's not happy. No, not at all. Kerrigan and I are in the kitchen working on some chocolate covered strawberries for Valentine's Day. I'll show you what they look like when we get finished. We're just using the Lily's chocolate today because we had some extra. I want to go ahead and use that up. I think once we get the chocolate on, we may drizzle a little bit of white chocolate on these two. And we ended up having a lot of chocolate covered strawberries. We did some plain, we did some white chocolate, then we drizzled some milk chocolate over, and then milk chocolate with white chocolate drizzled over. Now we ended up having some chocolate left over. We didn't want to waste it, of course, so we made some little mini s'mores. What Kerrigan done was she took the Catalina Crunch Honey Graham cereal. She laid a few pieces out, then she put some of the melted chocolate on top of that to hold the pieces together. And then we cut up the marshmallows. The Maxmellows, they're sugar-free. Picked these up in Asheville when we was there, I believe at Whole Foods. So we cut these into smaller marshmallows and put them on top. These are delicious. Great little treat. They taste like s'mores. I'm gonna store these in the refrigerator. I'm gonna give this chocolate a little while to set up and we're done. Meal prepping some crackers for the week. Now I came up with this particular one probably over 2 years ago at this point, and I'm just going to go ahead and link in the cards and down below in the description box the recipe. This is so simple, and the possibilities on this, of course, are endless. Now we like to add garlic and onion powder, but you can add everything but the bagel seasoning. You can make these spicy. You can do lots of different things with this basic recipe. All you're going to need is 1 cup of almond flour. I've said it multiple times. Not all almond flours are created equal. Get the Blue Diamond. It makes a difference. Okay, 1 cup of almond flour, 2 tablespoons of ground flax. I like to add onion and garlic powder to mine. So what I do is add 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, and I also add salt because I like crackers to be salty. I'm going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of that. This recipe is linked. There's an entire video for it. So if you go to the link that I'll have posted for you, you'll be able to go to the description box and just screenshot it. It's going to make things so much easier. So all you're going to do is throw all of that in your bowl. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Once we have everything added to the bowl, I like to give this a quick mix, and then we're going to slowly start to incorporate 3 tablespoons of water. You're going to make a dough out of this. It may not take all 3 tablespoons. Add a little bit at a time. Just continue mixing all of that up till you get pretty much a dough ball. I didn't even need to use all my water, probably only about 2 tablespoons this time. I'm not sure why this varies, but every single time that I make this recipe, it's a different amount of water. Lay this out on your parchment paper, then we're going to cover it with another piece. I'm going to use my rolling pin and I'm going to get this a nice even thickness. Now that it's rolled out and shaped, I use a pizza cutter so that I can cut these into nice little squares. I take a toothpick and I poke each one right in the center. Just makes it look more like a traditional cracker. Into the 350-degree oven for about 20 to 25 minutes until they start to get brown. The crackers were in the oven exactly 20 minutes before they started to turn brown. I went ahead and put these on a wire rack. I'm gonna let them cool before I start to break them apart. Once these are completely cooled, I just store them in an airtight container on the countertop because they don't last long. Let's talk about this amazing recipe that popped up on my For You page. This is Joe Duff's red velvet cake. I'm going to link it in the description box. You guys need to go show his page some love because this is not my recipe. I'm just a Southern girl who loves red velvet cake. Now, when you go over to the link that's in the description box, it's going to give you macros, more detailed information than I ever could. And he's making a cake, whereas I'm going to make cupcakes. I ordered this off of Amazon forever ago. I know at this point it's been well over 2 years. You get the silicone liners, you get the mini cupcake, you get the larger cupcake. I mean, it's an entire set of silicone pieces, so that way you don't have to worry about anything sticking. It will be linked for you guys so you can go see the exact set that I picked up. Preheat oven at 350. Starting out in a large bowl with 6 eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and beat those. 1 stick of melted butter, that's gonna be the equivalent of half a cup. 1 1/3 cup of confectioner's sugar. I'm using the Swerve. Now I'm gonna give those ingredients a nice little mix. To this, I'm gonna add some vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons. Now we need to turn this into the color red. In a separate bowl, I'm going to mix in the dry ingredients. It's calling for 2 2/3 cup of almond flour. Now, as I'm starting to put these ingredients together, I have a feeling this is going to make more than 12 cupcakes. I'm a little frightened that this is going to be a massive recipe. To my almond flour, I'm going to add a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. Now I'm going to give all this a quick mix. I'm going to go ahead and add the dry ingredients into the wet until I get these completely mixed up and incorporated. As I mix this together, to me, this seems more brown than this bright, vibrant red. Even if I added more red food coloring, it would probably take the entire container. And that's obviously because of the cocoa powder. We may have brown velvet cakes. Fill my cupcake liners with the batter. As expected, I do have some batter left. Not a ton, probably enough to make several more cupcakes. Recipe is for a cake and it says 350 degrees for around 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on the cupcakes. So I always keep tons of additional foil pans like this around. These smaller ones fit in my air fryer. And then if I want to bake something and send somewhere, I'll just use something like this. I pick them up at Walmart and also at Dollar Tree. Since I have some of this left, what I think I'm going to do is put it in one of the mini loaf pans and bake it. Well, the cupcakes actually did need to bake for 20 minutes. Now, I took them out of the oven when the little cracks still looked like there was a little bit of dampness in there. It was still a little gooey, because I knew when I pulled them out of the oven they would continue to bake for a little while because of the heat, and I did not want them to be dry and crumbly. I also want to mention that when you go to the link down below in the description box, he also has a frosting recipe, so you can go ahead and top these if you want to. I wanted to cut one open and show you what it looked like. Again, remember, don't overcook these. Now, it's got this crispy top, but it's nice and soft in the center, but it's definitely not red. Chris was ever so kind enough to come in here, and he's gonna give this a taste test. So go ahead, no frosting. I will probably end up making some for it, but what do you think?
It's good and moist.
They hate that word, by the way. People hate that word.
Okay.
It's okay. It's soft and gooey on the inside.
It's soft and gooey on the inside. Good, I like it.
So it's delicious.
Yes, it is.
So it gets a 10 out of 10 on taste.
Yes.
And it gets a 0 out of 10 for being red. And this is why I do this type of video and add in some other people's recipes occasionally, just to show you I can have an epic fail too. Let me know, what is the trick to when you add cocoa to get a red velvet cake red? So let me know. I'm gonna brown up some ground beef just to go ahead and have that on hand. I like to have this to add to nachos if we want to make hamburger in a bowl, add to our pizza bowl, so this way it's already cooked up. Now I do add some 21 seasoning salute to that. If you don't have this Smashula beef chopper, you need to get one in your life. It makes cooking your ground beef so much easier. Once it's done, I just go ahead and store this in a glass bowl in the refrigerator. Got some large chicken breasts from the grocery store. What I did was I took those, I cut them in half so that they would be thin cut, and I'm gonna meal prep those so that when we're ready to eat one night, we need a quick meal. Then all I'll have to do is reheat them. I plan on frying them up, so what I'm gonna do, take the thin slices, I'm gonna dip them in an egg wash and then into the diamond nut coating that I had picked up at Publix last week. It is walnuts and pecans, and this one is ranch flavored. They had it available in several different flavors. 7 servings in this, 130 calories a serving, and that's gonna be 3 tablespoons, 11 fat, 4 total carbs with 2 dietary fiber, so only 2 net carbs, and 3 protein. As far as ingredients go, I see nothing bad added into these. When the chicken breasts are done, all I do is let those cool and put them in the refrigerator. We can reheat these whenever we're ready to eat. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know, are you meal prepping this week? And if so, what'd you make? I'll see you in the next video. Bye.